So in the next three chapters, we seeing about half range cosine series. So what is the question given here? F of x is equal to x in 0 less than x less than pi. Okay, so the required half range cosine series will be f of x is equal to a naught by 2 plus summation n is equal to 1 to infinity a n cos n x. This will be known from the formula itself. Now we have to find the value of a naught. What is the formula of a naught? 2 by pi integral over 0 to pi f of x dx. Instead of f of x, substitute the value of f of x, which is x. Now integrate the x, you will get x square by 2. Substitute the value of 0 to pi and you will get a naught is equal to. Likewise, you have to find the value of a n. What is the formula of a n? 2 by pi 0 to pi f of x cos nx. So what is the value of f of x? X cos nx. It is in the formula of uv. So use Bernoulli's formula. U is equal to x, u dash is equal to 1, and v is equal to cos nx, v1 is equal to sin nx divided by n, where sin nx by n can be again integrated into minus cos nx by n square. Substitute in the formula and you can solve this. You will get a n is equal to 0 if n is even, and minus 4 by n square by if n is odd. Substitute the value in f of x. After substituting the value, what you have to do is you will have summation n is equal to odd to infinity. Now what you have to do is, for in place of n is equal to 1 to infinity, what I am doing is, instead of m I am using 2n minus 1 the whole square. Okay, so I'll get the same odd sequence for this also. So f of x is equal to pi by 2 minus 4 by pi summation n is equal to 1 to infinity 1 by 2n minus 1 the whole square into cos 2n minus 1 into x. Okay, this is what we are doing. Okay, obtain the half range cosine series for f of x at x minus 2 the whole square in interval 0 comma 2. So what is the interval here? 0 comma 2 is the interval here. You have to find for cosine series. First write the formula a naught and n naught. Write the formula of a naught. Here it is 0 comma 2, which is 0 comma l formula. So 0 to 2 by l into 0 to l f of x. Instead of f of x, substitute value x minus 2 the whole square and cos pi n pi, so x minus 2 the whole square, so it will get integrated into x minus 2 the whole cube divided by 3. Substitute the value, get a naught is equal to 8 by 3. Same, a n is equal to, instead of l substitute 2, so 0 to 2 x minus 2 the whole square cos n pi x by 2 into d. So x minus 2 into sin n pi x divided by 2 divided by n pi by 2, and minus cos n pi x by 2 divided by n square pi square by 2, and minus sin n pi x by 2 n cube pi cube by 2 cube. So this is the values. Okay, so after substituting all these values, you will get x minus 2 the whole square. For 2, substitute for x, substitute 2. First, if you substitute 2, 2 minus 2 becomes 0, and second term also 2 minus 2 becomes 0, and for third term also, if you substitute 2, you will get minus sin n pi divided by n cube pi cube divided by 2 cube, minus again substitute the value 0. If you substitute the value 0, you will get 0 minus 2 the whole square into sin n pi, so sin 0 divided by n pi by 2, minus 2 into 0 minus 2 into minus cos n pi divided by n square pi square by 2, plus 2 into sin n pi divided by n cube pi cube by 2 cube. You know that sin n pi value is actually, sin n pi is, you know that it is 0, so it would automatically becomes 0. Okay, then you will have what are the values you will be having? This sin n pi will also become 0, so on total you will get minus into minus plus 2 into 2 4, 4 into 4 16 by n square pi square. This is the value you will be getting. Okay, so Fourier series, you have to find the Fourier series of f of x in c comma c plus 2l is given by. So there is no changes in anything, just the formula alone will changes. F of x is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity cn e power I n pi minus pi x divided by l, where cn is equal to 1 by 2l c to c plus 2l f of x e power minus n pi x by l dx. If it is the interval is minus l comma l, you will use this formula. If it is 0 to 2 pi, this is the formula, and for minus pi to pi, this is the formula. For I n pi alone, I am using all these things. Then after substituting the value, I'll get minus 1 power n divided by 2 pi into a minus I n e power a pi plus minus e power a minus pi divided by 2. Okay, and I know that e power a pi can be written as cos a pi plus sin a pi, and e power minus a pi can be written as cos a pi plus I sin a pi, and subtracting it I'll get 2 sin a pi is equal to e power a pi minus e power minus a pi. So I'll get sin h a pi is equal to e power a pi minus e power minus a pi divided by 2. Okay, so this is the formula we are using. So instead of this, I'll using sin h a pi divided by pi into minus 1 power pi a plus in into a square plus n. Okay, so this is the value of cn. Substitute instead of cn and solve it, you will get the f of x value. Giving is 1 by minus I can be written as minus I alone. 1 by minus I can be written as I alone. So here I'll be getting k by 2l into ix l into n pi e power minus I n pi x divided by l plus l square n square pi square e power minus n pi x divided by l. Okay, next you have to solve and find the value of cn and substitute the value of cn in the complex form, and you will get the final answer. Okay, y bar formula. So here you have to find the value of y bar, root of 1 by b minus a into ab f of x the whole square into dx. So you have to find the value, then you have to substitute it in the equation, like I have the formula, right? A naught square by 4 plus 1 by 2 summation n is equal to 1 to infinity a n square plus b n square. You have to substitute it here. Then you have to find a naught square value. Then bn becomes 0, so an square value you have to find. Then substitute all the values in the equation. You will get and solve. You will get 1 by 4 1 by 1 power 4 plus 1 by 2 power 4 plus 1 by 3 power 4 plus etc. to pi power 4 by 90. Okay, and it is 0 to pi. It is in cos form. For cos means you have to use a cosine series, right? The cosine series formula, find a naught, find an value, then substitute in the f of x equation, and you will get an equation. For f of x, what you have to do is you will get an f of x equation. Then that's fine, you have found out. Then you have to find using Parseval's identity. Parseval's identity is y bar square is equal to a naught square by 2 plus summation n is equal to 1 to infinity a n square plus b n square. So you have to find the values and substitute here, and you will get the summation n is equal to 1 to 4, 1 by n power 4 is equal to pi power 4 by 90. Okay, and here this is the sum. 1 if 0 comma pi, and 2 is if pi comma 2 pi. Okay, and you have to find the sum of the series. Okay, so the formula is 0 to pi and pi 2. So first 1 by pi is 0 to pi dx, pi to pi. So you will get the values 3 cos nx plus 2 cos nx. Then and integrating is, there is no need to integrate using any UV method and all, because you have 1 and 2 which is a constant term, so no problem. Just cos nx integrated sin nx by n, cos nx integrated sin nx by n. You substitute the values and you will get a n as 0. So a is 3 and a n is 0. You have to find bn value. On finding bn, you will get minus 2 by n pi if n is odd and 0 if n is even. Substitute the value, you will get f of x. Harmonic analysis is the process of finding the Fourier series for a function given by numerical values is known as a harmonic analysis. Nothing. What you have to mind is there will be a set of x values and f of x values, which is a y value. Okay, so what you will have is set of x values, set of f of x values in a graphical form. For graph and all, you will draw, right, x values and y values. You will get a tabular column. For that particular tabular column, you will be finding a naught, a n and b n. Okay, that is a value, and you have to substitute in the formula. The first one, a naught is known as a value, where a1 is known as first harmonic analysis, a2 is known as second harmonic analysis, and a3 is known as third harmonic analysis. Like this it will go. So if a range is 0 comma 2 pi and it is divided by equal subintervals, then a naught is equal to 2 by n summation y. For finding a n, 2 by n summation y cos nx, b n 2 by n summation y sin nx. Okay, so your formula will be written as y is equal to a naught by 2 plus a1 cos x plus b1 sin x plus a2 cos 2x plus b2 sin 2x plus a3 cos 3x plus b3 sin 3x. So a1 cos x plus b1 sin x will be your fundamental harmonic or a first harmonic. If they ask for fundamental harmonic, you just have to find a1 and b1 alone. If they asked for first harmonic also, you can find a1 and b1 alone. If they want to find second harmonic, find a1, a2. And if they want you to find third harmonic, you have to find a1, a2, a3. Like this, which harmonic they are asking, you just have to find that up to that values alone. Okay, so Fourier series up to 2 coefficient a1 and a2 up to sine series b1 and b2. This you all know, right? For cos, if they want for cosine series, go for cos. If they want for sine series, go for sine. And if it is 0 comma 2l, just add it as a1 cos pi x by l. There is no need for n pi. Okay, just pi x by l is enough, and 2 pi x by l will be enough, because for instead of n you will be using 1 2 like that. Okay, next is from the question itself. Okay, so x is your question, so no issues, it's in the question. Y f of x or y which is same, and I am given that here. First you have to find I have to find cos 1x, cos 2x, cos 3x, and the formula is y cos x, y cos 2x, y cos 3x. For sine, y sin x, y sin 2x, y sin 3x. Okay, so you have to find the values, substitute the value. Y is 1 and cos x is 0 in every one, and you will form this tabular column. After that you have to find a naught is equal to 2 by n summation y. So 2 by, what is the n value? How many n values are here? 6 intervals is here. So 6 intervals. So 2 by 6 summation of y. What is the summation of y value? 8.7. So which is 2.9. And you know that a1 is equal to, what is the sub formula for an? 2 by n, which is 2 by 1 into n. What is the value of n? N value is nothing but 6. So 2 by 6 summation y cos x. What is the value of y cos x? Minus 1.1. Okay, and 2 by 6 into what is the value of y sin x? 0.5. Same goes for cos, sin, cos 2 sin 2, cos 3 sin 3. So I'll get all the required values. I'll be forming in the formula. This will be my harmonic equation. Okay, the values are in the form of pi, which is of 0 to pi or 0 to 2 pi. But here the values are in the form, what I'm this value, pi x by 3. You have here, right, cos pi n pi x by 3. What is the value of n? Pi x by 3 alone is the x term here. Okay, so pi x by 3 is the x term, so that is your value. Now I have to find summation of y, summation of cos, summation of sine, summation of cos, and b2 becomes 0, and I have substituted and we will get the answer. Here it is known as temperature. It is a periodic current. Okay, so you know that 2L is equal to T, so L is equal to T by 2. So what I am doing is A is equal to A naught by 2 summation n is equal to 1 to infinity A n cos n pi x by L. Instead of x I am using T, because small t is there, right? So instead of x I am using T. Now what I am doing is instead of L I am substituting T by 2. So instead of L, if I am substituting T by 2, I will get 2n pi t by capital T. Okay, so 2n pi t by capital T. N is the changing value, so 2 pi t by capital T will be my theta value or x value. Okay, so I am just taking it as theta. So 0, when I am substituting it, I will get 0, 60, 120, 180, 240, 300. This is zone going to be changed. This is same for all the time. Okay, I will get the A values, which is amplitude value. I will find cos theta, cos 2 theta, sin 2 theta. Some values of everything. I will get the values and substitute in the equation. I will get the harmonic analysis. For your homework, just do it again, and if you have any doubt, you can contact me. Thank you.